My name's Dave. So now that we know what Visual Studio is, let's take a closer look at the Visual Studio environment. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new project, and again I'll walk you through these steps later. For right now I just want to introduce you to the environment of Visual Studio. And if you look over to the right, you'll see this Solution Explorer panel. And these are called panels. Some people call them panes, panels, panes, whichever you prefer. So this is the Solution Explorer panel. This is the Properties panel. And if you look to the right, or to your left, I'm sorry, you'll see the Toolbox panel. And there are other panels. These are the main panels that you'll use. If you don't see these panels show up, you can always go to View in the menu tree, View right here. And if you click on View, you'll see in the drop-down menu we have Solution Explorer. And let's go ahead. I'm going to hit Exit. I'm going to close Solution Explorer. So I've just closed out. I'll close that out too. So I've closed that out. So I'm going to go to View, and now click on Solution Explorer, and there it is. And same thing with Properties. You just close that out, and the Properties windows right here. And I'll just click on that, and that'll bring up the Properties panel, right? And same thing with Toolbox. The Toolbox is in here. They're right there. You just click on that. So if you don't see these panels, you can always go to View and just click on the panel name, Solution Explorer, Toolbox, Properties. Those are the three you'll use the most. There are others, but those are the main three. So, and a lot of times what happens is these panels get undocked for whatever reason, accident or whatever, and you're not sure how do I get it docked again. And if you click on this bar right here, this yellowish bar, you'll see these little things pop up. I'm not sure what they're called, but you see these arrows here. This tells you where to dock it. Just depending on which one of these you're hovering over, that's where it's going to dock it. So let's dock it right here. So just play around with this, and you can see it docked it at the bottom. So, and I'm left-clicking on this bar and dragging, left-clicking and dragging. And let's try another spot. Let's try the up arrow there, and that's back where we want it. So you could always drag these around and dock it wherever you want. And I like to dock it right here. That's where I like the Solution Explorer. Same thing with any of these windows. So you just hover over these, whatever these things are called, and that's where it's going to dock it. So it's just it's a way of telling Visual Studio where to dock. So you just hover over where you want it to dock. I want it to hover. I want it to dock at the bottom. So I'm hovering right here. See, my arrow is hovering over that. This whatever this thing's called, bottom arrow. So I'm going to let go, and it's going to dock it right here. Okay, also take a look at these push pins right here. This is a way you can dock it or set it up for auto hide. So let's do the auto hide. If you click on the push pin, and you can see if you hover over it, you see auto hide. Click on the push pin, and it auto hides. Go ahead and auto hide the Properties panel as well. So both of these are on auto hide, and that just means they're tucked away. There's a tab that when you click on the tab or just hover over the tab, you'll see the panel pop up, right? So this is a way to just give you more room. This gives you more space to work with if you need more space. So the smaller monitors, I like to use the auto hide. If I'm on a wider monitor, I like to go ahead and dock my at least the panels that I'm using. But it's largely a matter of preference. So this gives you the option to auto hide these panels, and same thing over here. I've got the toolbox on auto hide. If the push pin is facing, if it's horizontal, then it's on auto hide. So we click it, and we see the push pin is now vertical. So it's docking. It docks the panel. So now this is docked. And if I want to undock it, put it back on auto hide, so just click on that push pin. Okay, so Visual Studio has a number of panels that you can use. Also, there are windows. Visual Studio has windows like the error list. If you get errors, which is bound to happen, then this gives you a list of the errors or whatever exceptions, errors that you get in the program, so you can see what's going on. It tells you the problem. And there are other windows. Go to Debug, Windows Output, and this is one I use a lot. This outputs, you can write to this window, and we'll see more of that later on. So this is called a window, and again with the auto hide, you can click on this to dock it if you want, or undock it, and to set it on auto hide. So we have panels, we have windows, and up top we have the menu tree, just like most programs. And you can go to File, Edit, View. So if you don't see any of the windows or the panels, you can go to View. And also you can always get back to the Start page. If you want to see the Start page, you can get back to that. And you notice these tabs here. Toggle back and forth. Go ahead and close the Start page. And there's different options here. Don't want to go into detail about what all this is, but just kind of want to introduce you to this. And we also have the toolbox, various toolboxes. This is the Save All, which you'll use a lot. You'll rarely use this one. We'll talk more about that later. And there's different tools here. We'll talk more about this. This starts the program in debug mode. This little run button or play button. So this is the toolbar, and again, don't want to get into specifics about what all this does at the moment. Just kind of want to introduce you to it. So there you go. There's a brief introduction to Visual Studio. I know there's a lot of stuff that a lot of details there that I left out, but just want to briefly introduce you to the Visual Studio IDE environment.